everyone, happy Monday. I really hope that you are all in the fall spirit as much as I am, because today's video is going to be a bunch of family-friendly fall recipes. I always enjoy the holidays. I always look forward to this time of year, but I think because this is the first holiday season that Bennett can really understand and kind of enjoy things, I'm extra excited and I'm really taking full advantage of this holiday season. In this video, I really wanted to give you all some easy fall recipes, all toddler friendly and all super delicious. Before we get started cooking, I did just want to let you guys know that I did recently set up an Amazon storefront. So basically this is just a page where I save all of my favorite products, from mom products to baby products. I'm adding new products on there every day, but I do have 5 categories up so far. I have Bennett's favorite books saved, I have Bennett's favorite toys, baby-led weaning favorites, my favorite kitchen must-haves, and then a category for toddler clothes. I will make sure to have a direct link in the description box below, but you can access it by going to amazon.com/shop/typicalboymom. I really appreciate you guys shopping through my affiliate link, so thank you very much if you check it out. Okay, I am so ready to make my kitchen smell like pumpkin cinnamon goodness, so let's get started. Let's start our day with some apple pie waffles. These are so tasty. Bennett loved these, and I even had to make some extra for my husband. Starting with our apple, I am using Macintosh apple. You can use whichever kind of apple you prefer. I just washed this and now we're going to peel it and then chop it into small pieces. Now getting these apples into a large bowl with about a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, and then we will add in a tablespoon of cinnamon. Now we have our pan on the stove on low to medium heat, adding in about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm using Earth Balanced butter, so it's plant-based, and just letting that melt. Then we can add in our diced apples with a 1/4 cup of milk. I recommend using almond milk or coconut milk, but you can use any milk of your choice. We are going to cover that and let it simmer on the stove for about 10 minutes. You really just want the apples to be nice and soft, and you want the liquid to be dissolved. While that is simmering, let's grab a large bowl. Let's add in 1½ cups of flour, 1/2 cup of coconut sugar. You can use regular sugar, I just prefer coconut sugar. Add in a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 egg. Mix all of that together, and then you can add in 1 cup of milk of your choice. Now your batter is done and your cinnamon apples are done, so let's get our waffle maker out. You can make these one of 2 ways. So you can add the cinnamon apples directly into the batter, or you can put a layer of batter down in the waffle maker, scoop some apples on top, and then add in more batter, so it's kind of like a stuffed waffle. These took about 3 to 5 minutes to make in the waffle maker, so they are super quick, and then they are all done. I gave these to Bennett for breakfast, and I highly recommend saving some of those cinnamon apples to add on top of the waffles. These were definitely a hit with Bennett. As you can see, he has some waffle in both hands, so he really enjoyed these. Moving right along to our second recipe, this is my favorite recipe of the day. These are pumpkin cinnamon rolls. Now, I don't even like pumpkin, but these were so tasty and so easy to make. Let's start by preheating our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now in a bowl, I have a 1/3 cup of softened butter. I melted it a little bit too much, but ideally it would just be softened. Adding in lots of cinnamon, about 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of milk. I am using almond milk, and lastly 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mixing all of that together, then adding in our star ingredient, which is 1 cup of pumpkin puree. Making our life super easy today, and instead of making the dough from scratch, let's use this crescent dough sheet. You will actually want to buy 2 of these. I ended up having so much extra filling I could have made 2 batches of cinnamon rolls. Laying the dough flat on the cutting board, I recommend putting some flour down first before you do this because it definitely stuck a little bit. So we are adding about half of the filling that we made on top. We can use the second half of the filling for another batch of cinnamon rolls, and this is optional, but I did sprinkle a little bit more of cinnamon and coconut sugar before I rolled them up. I'm cooking these in an oiled glass baking pan. This one batch made about 11 rolls. These will go into the oven at 375 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes. While those are cooking, let's make a quick and easy batch of icing. 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 3 tablespoons of milk. These cinnamon rolls turned out so yummy. These did not last long in my house, and they're even better when you add the icing on top. Let's take a quick break before our last 2 recipes and get really into the fall mood and go to the pumpkin patch. Our local pumpkin patch was so fun. Bennett had a ball playing in this giant sea of pumpkins that they had. There were also a lot of animals there, which he was totally fascinated by. It was such a fun time. And now we are back in the kitchen, so let's start cooking our 3rd recipe of the day, which is puff pastry cinnamon twists. I love these. They aren't super sweet, but they have a really yummy buttery cinnamon flavor, and I love the crunch of the puff pastry. This is definitely the easiest recipe of the day, starting with a 1/3 cup of softened butter, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. Mix that together in a bowl and it's done. Now we will lay down 1 sheet of puff pastry and then add the filling on top. Spread it so it covers the entire sheet. If you like it really sweet, you can double the filling. I liked it a little more subtle, but if you have a sweet tooth, definitely double the filling recipe. Now we can add the second puff pastry sheet on top, slice it into long strips, and then slice it once through the middle so that they aren't super long. Now we are going to take each strip and just twist them up. Before these go into the oven, I added a little melted butter, cinnamon, and coconut sugar on top. This is totally optional. These are going to cook at 375 degrees for about 18 minutes. For extra sweetness, you can also top these with that same icing we used for the cinnamon rolls. The last recipe we're going to make today is pumpkin donuts. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen this recipe, but they are so perfect for a fall treat, I had to share it on here too. Starting with 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/3 cup of coconut sugar. Mix that together, then you can add in 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of milk, and 1 cup of pumpkin puree and mix everything together. Once your batter is all mixed together, these will go into an oiled donut tin. I am using silicone, I highly recommend it. Then these will go into the oven at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. I also frosted these donuts using the same icing recipe that I used on the cinnamon rolls, and they were delicious. It has been such a long day of cooking, but my house smells amazing and everything turned out so good. I think I've eaten 4 of these cinnamon twists. Somebody seriously needs to take them away from me. The recipes I shared today may not be as healthy as the ones that I normally share, but they are so good and definitely get me in the fall mood. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my Amazon shop. It will be linked in the description box below. Follow me over on Instagram, a typical boy mom, for baby-led weaning recipes and meal ideas, and make sure to subscribe here. I post new videos every Monday.